to show off some more comics that I've enjoyed recently. If you're interested in getting these comics yourself, I will include links to the publishers and artists below. So these are two mini comics by Cecil Smith. This one is called Working in the Future, and this one is called Liquid Planet Battle. And these are both science fiction stories that take place in a universe that Cecil Smith has done a lot of comics in. They all kind of go under this moniker SF, which is an acronym that I think stands for a bunch of different stuff, like Supplementary File, but also Security Forces and Space Fleet and Science Foundation. He likes to play with acronyms a lot. As you can see, this book stars SFCSSSS Danny, which stands for Space Fleet Central Shipping Services and System Supervisor. So these are two books that I just got, but I wanted to take a look at some of the previous SF comics that I have. So here are a couple of older SF zines. I'll just give them a quick flip through. So they're science fiction stories. These have black and white art. He does very simple but attractive character designs. But overall, I would say it's pretty dense art. It's a good mixture. I really like these. These are sort of everything I want in a science fiction comic book. And then there was another book. This one was published by Koyama Press. This one is also black and white. But this is all taking place in the same SF universe. So the two new ones, look at this one first, Liquid Planet Battle. Takes place on a liquid planet. There are various forces vying for control, and it also has chapters where it follows a girl who is joining her school's science club, but must prove that she is adequately scientific. And then Working in the Future. This stars the last professional mail carrier in the galaxy, who is this very upbeat character who is determined to deliver the mail despite whatever chaos might ensue around that. Has these little fun tipped in details. So yeah, these are Cecil Smith's SF comics. I don't know if I have them all, but I hope there are more to come. This is Octobriana 1976 by Jim Rugg, and chances are you've seen this if you pay attention to comics on the internet, because Jim ran a really successful Kickstarter to fund the book. And the idea is that it's the world's first blacklight comic book. So it's got these really bright, retina-destroying blacklight colors. I don't have a blacklight here to show you that, but anyway, it's a very fun book, impeccably designed like everything that Jim does. And yeah, I really recommend it. After the Kickstarter, it was also published for distribution in comic shops, so it should be pretty easy to get. But what I really wanted to highlight was this, which is the Octobriana 1976 PROCESS zine, which was a reward for Kickstarter backers. And it's a 348-page PDF detailing every aspect of the production of this book, from brainstorming to character background to script. He talks about tools, sketches, pencils, all the way through like how to do a Kickstarter and breaking down the costs and finding printers to publish this sort of demanding print job. So it's all here. Jim does a great job of breaking it all down. And if you're interested in the production of a comic like this, I highly recommend it. So this is CANKOR by Allison. And this is published by AdHouse Books. And it has it labeled here as superhero sci-fi horror. And I might throw in a couple other genre that really just doesn't cover it. This was a really hard book for me to pinpoint, but I'll start flipping through it. I thought it was a fascinating book to read. It's got gorgeous art, as you can see. I like these sort of pastel colors. There's certain spots that have just intense amounts of detail, which, I don't know, overall the look of this book is really impressive. The drawing is really high level. Like crazy detail there. Ugh. Anyway, I am, maybe I'm not the best person at describing stories, but this one really defies description for me, and I'm going to have to read it more. I love these three-dimensional sound effects. I'm going to have to read this again, though, to really get everything out of it. It feels like almost like an autobio comic that has ranged like way into the fantasy world. It's really impressive work, though. I was really glad to have picked this up. I didn't know much about it, but it looked interesting and I got it, and I'm really glad I did. This is Ping Pong by Taiyo Matsumoto, and this is a translated manga, so it reads from right to left. This is published by Viz, and it's the story of high school ping pong players. It's got everything for that sort of story. Like, they're building up to a big tournament. There's a ringer. There's the kid who is a master player but doesn't really want it. Just gonna keep flipping through. I think Matsumoto might be at the very top of my list of artists who I'd like to watch draw. Like, his work has so much energy to it. This is an action shot, so it's very energetic, but even some of the static stuff is just this electric line. I'm very curious to see like what the penciling process, like look at this hand here. Like, did somebody actually pencil and then ink that hand? I don't know. I'm curious. So this is volume 1, which is all that's out so far, but this was as good as any Taiyo Matsumoto book that I've read so far. So there you go, more of my recent reads. I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know, does this suck? Is it cool? And I'll put all the relevant links for these books below, and I will catch you next time.